Hello Libra, this is a timeless reading for you. In the middle of your spread we have the card Healthy, surrounded by vision, God, acceptance and closed. And I feel like this is an energy of healing, mending some kind of negativity that contaminated all areas in your life. Maybe it's also due to a trauma or several traumas. Maybe it's just due to some kind of worldly pain that you are one of those people who is very much aware of all the negativity in the world, and you are not sugarcoating that. So sometimes it's wearing you down heavily and you just expect the worst in several situations. Maybe a lot of terrible things have already happened to you, so you know how it feels if the worst that you can imagine happens. And then when you enter new situations, or sometimes if you just sit at home and you hear someone knocking on your door, you immediately might think, oh, this could be someone who has quite terrible news, or I'm not expecting anyone. Who is this? This could be a dangerous situation. This could be some kind of trauma that is speaking inside of you in your mind. Because maybe one day something like this has already happened to you. You are getting my point. So this reading is about your negativity, and there is no blame here. I feel like it's some kind of justified negativity. Because nowadays, at least I have made this experience that sometimes people judge you if you're not positive all the time, because positive thinking is so in currently. And anytime you express some kind of doubt, or you express some kind of worries or fears, someone tells you, oh, you are so negative, because they can handle this thought. It fears them, it scares them, thinking about that something might not have a good outcome, something might actually be dangerous. They don't want to see and feel these things because they are too weak to stand them. So they label them as negative and idiotic, these kind of people. Maybe you have made some experience with a friend like that or something, I don't know. And I feel like there is some healing. The more I'm talking about it, the more I feel like it is truly due to some trauma. That you usually or very often expect something bad to happen. And it's actually, in that case, I don't want to call it negativity, I just want to call it trauma. I feel like there is an importance to your spiritual origin. It feels to me as if from a spiritual perspective, you might have even chosen to go through this in your life, to experience this trauma or several traumatic events. Because due to this trauma, an empty space has been created in your mind that always kept you very open, and that might have functioned like a spiritual vessel if people are too earthly and mundane, they might think of themselves as very spiritual, but they are actually just esoteric, and they have beliefs and all of that, and they are making up things. Some people are hallucinating, but some people are truly connected to our origin, to their own origin and to everyone else's origin. And this is not about belief, this is about experience. And I feel like trauma is terrible on one hand, but on another hand, trauma often makes us very spiritual, very truly spiritual, not this kind of mental spirituality where people are just making up things, as I already said. This is a true connection, and if you are not aware of this yet, you might soon tap into that, become aware of it. If you witnessed your spiritual gifts already but have never used them, maybe you were afraid of them and thought, oh my God, there's this kind of thing in my mind and in my feelings, but I'm afraid it's not spiritual, it's just crazy. But it's probably not crazy. Maybe you have pushed it away, not repressed it. I feel like you always saw it, looked at it, but you might have feared that it will make you either look crazy or that it is truly craziness. And this is one situation. The other situation is for a group of people that is not at all aware of their own spiritual gifts yet. But this will soon play a huge role in your life. This is something divine, someone divine touching your life, and you will realize that this trauma is functioning like some kind of tunnel. Due to all of this pain, it's like your higher self and God, like they bored a hole into your energy system so that this divine energy can one day just shoot through this tunnel. And then you will realize the connection between your trauma and your divine origin. And then don't let me make any false promises. Something might completely turn around and your pain will become sheer pleasure. And what you thought were your weaknesses will become your utter strength and talents. There is healing of the trauma, healing of your so-called negativity, worries, fears, expecting the worst, healing of friction, triggers being pushed and pulled by others. We have the closed card here. Maybe you have withdrawn from a lot of people. Many people are utterly superficial, even those who think they are very profound and reflected. Especially them, or those are often the worst, I think. So I feel like if you are someone who has become very closed, it might also be justified, but only to a certain extent, because there are still truly good people outside, not just people who think of themselves as good. And I feel like you will realize that and deeply feel that, and you will find these people and you will open up again. There is healing in your social life as well, on all levels, in all areas. I'm not specifically seeing something about money here, but I feel like maybe if this is also something that you've been struggling with, especially also due to some kind of trauma that you experienced, there is probably also healing regarding that coming in. I already mentioned the word triggers and friction. We have acceptance here. This is quite suitable if you felt triggered or scared what other people think of you, or if it really deeply hurts you if someone on the street is giving you an evil eye, or, you know, an envious gaze, a hateful gaze, or even if they're not saying anything, a body shaming gaze, or you know, this thing when really young teenagers start to make fun of old people. Maybe you are an older person and someone starts to giggle about you. I don't know. If these kind of things like deeply trigger you, I feel like there is some freedom regarding that coming as well. That even those very wrong and mean things, they are wrong and mean. They will always be wrong and mean. But they will not hurt you anymore. There is also something from a dream that you just labeled as a dream, now coming back towards the people who reject their own spirituality and their spiritual gifts. There might have been, maybe you labeled it as a daydream or a dream, but actually it was a spiritual vision. You will see soon, maybe not tomorrow or the day after, but maybe in a few weeks you will start to see or witness a development in your external life, and it will slowly become clear to you that something you thought that was a daydream or a dream was actually a vision, and you are starting to live in that vision. This vision is coming true, and you labeled it as something ridiculous, that is just some unconscious clutter, but it wasn't. It was a spiritual vision that you were having, and you denied that. So this is also very healing for your spiritual aspects. Yeah, we have the card open here. So as I already said, you're opening up towards your own spirituality, toward yourself, others, and life. I'm gonna pull some health and lifestyle cards for you. You have to interpret these cards for yourself. I'm not gonna do that for you. Virus, savings, meds, tea, apple, skin, lungs, cooking, one more, letter, bottom of the deck, sleep. Everything is blurred today. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.